heavy rain alert is now replaced by a heavy rain warning. Heavy rain warning number 1 is issued by the Solomon Islands Meteorological Service 7 o'clock this morning, Wednesday, 2nd April 2014. Motorists are also advised to use extreme caution when traveling in these areas. Do not attempt to cross rivers and larger streams of unknown depth.
April 3rd and 4th, 2014 have made history in Solomon Islands. They produced the highest amount of rain, which resulted from a low depression that developed over Isabel province and then moved very slowly towards the south and southwest. This low depression began on the 1st of April.
For rainfall, I think 24 hours rainfall, that's a low pressure system and given there. And actually breaking record numbers around 318 years 24 hours. So actually that's one in record this time of Honiara. So the data when it comes as far as 1954.
Okay, so ini garem this one mahal automatic rain gauge lo here. This one rain gauge where project for JICA with National Disaster Management Office and put them in place lo here as an early warning tool lo cell college. Yeah? So ini garem a maximum of this millimeter. If I'm custom that one, then by him 73 garem now alarm lo here. So that meaning that this amount of rainfall hence triggering flash floods around this area. So hemna this will automatic rain gauge where this project can be, and this one hem help to this past flood there, hem help out for saving people around this area.
By law, the Solomon Islands Met Service is responsible for issuing safety early warning messages, whether it be cyclones, floods, tsunamis, or such other disasters. As soon as a warning is issued by the Met Service, the next to warn communities is the National Emergency Operations Center of the National Disaster Management Office. These warnings give directions for people who may be affected to take the necessary actions to save themselves from a disaster such as a flood. Misalnya isi heavy rain warning or alert, misalnya relating all of floods, right? So misalnya also depend NDMO or New York agency for assisting misalnya with proposing messages or safety messages where by coming with heavy rain warning, like services are received. Basically, all the messages were him go out there and telling people of people living on riverbanks or close to the river or the flood plains here will move to safe areas because we're expecting heavy rainfall and come down for a little bit. And him also advising people what to do. If him flood or if you're looking behind flood, what number by you do. So advices like moving to higher grounds and also move Bad floods had already happened in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 and had impacted the communities of 𝗪𝗏𝗧 River. It was from such experiences that perhaps didn't make the same communities to take the warnings 1, 2, 3 and 4th April. 𝗪𝗏𝗧 River, flooding can take place. So some people experience flooding, yeah? But probably this one way in a little bit extreme. Extreme because amount of rainfall will have fall down. high winning other previous events where rain never fall down low here Honiara. But as is now well known, Understanding disaster warnings is very crucial.
A heavy rain warning is current for Choiseul, Western, Isabel, Malaita, Royal Central, Reno and Bellona, Temotu and Makura provinces. Situation: a weak low lies over Solomon Islands and slow moving southwest.
Bad floods just keep getting worse. In 2009, 13 people had lost their lives on northwest Guadalcanal following flash floods that occurred at the end of February, early March in 2010. Lunga River claimed the lives of a few children in 2011. Big floods also hit many parts of the country and resulted in government and partners spending thousands of dollars.
And so, law number 2 April, I think, Avata evacuating Selwyn College. And here we are thinking that Babahem happen law northwest Guadalcanal Namon, although the rain can continue. But what basically happened and shift movement and come towards Umi, and then heavy rain can continue, resulting in the Matanico River and rainfall and
in Honiara, the people who lived along the Matanico River from Marble Street, Vara Creek to Core Hill settlement had the worst impact from the flash floods in April this year.
The impact, as you may sabe, and devastating, especially Honiara. For the first time, a flood of this size can come and impacting, especially major river where it ran through capital Solomon Islands and Honiara, Lunga River, as well as the Matanico River. Not only that, all the small streams were ran through Lotaunia, Rove, White River, and also the amount of water come down the catchment areas can basically flood in the whole Honiara, including the roads and everyone. So the impact was quite severe in as far as our infrastructure is concerned. As you sabe, the old Bailey and Bailey Bridge, Matanico River, old bridge and come down almost 60 years after having been built. And then the main bridge we have connecting East and West Honiara became affected as well. And so everything that happened in history,
At Matanico, 6 houses got washed away. Here's what James, one whose house was full of mud, had to say.
Stay a little bit long time later, since me small, limit water and water run, flood and over every time. That's a horrible things that we looking happen, where every houses go down. And even people out of road go down too, houses go down. And several managed now for escape logistics and plus flood. Because not expecting to what things is going to happen.
23 lives, mainly children and women, were lost in the Matanico flash floods and other rivers in central and northwest Guadalcanal. During the height of the floods, the government and its agencies worked around the clock to rescue affected families in West Central Guadalcanal, Burns Creek, and those affected in Honiara put up in 14 evacuation centers.
The whole intention of the early response, emergency response is about saving lives. It's about saving lives. Most important is about saving lives. And so when the police did their rescue, the international NGOs and our partners and the government come in for look after them.
On 5th April, the Prime Minister Gordon Dasililo and his Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Disaster Management sent condolence messages to those affected, especially those who lost loved ones and properties, and appealed to donors to help support those affected.
Well, government is taking the lead. and coordinating every activities through the international partners and NGOs as well as of local NGOs.
The benefits what we see is the children that might find difficulty in going back to school because their homes have been damaged and things like that.
So agriculture and livestock will also fill in the gaps on types of tools that may not be provided by other organizations. They will also provide that.
Honiara City Council set up an operations center to coordinate whatever support was given for those affected.
I think this will not only face the spirit of Honiara as an urban area, and any one for the flash flood will happen and beyond how for mutual handling. So with the help of stakeholders and the national government, we will slowly for addressing this one. This one we face time for mutual city council experience that the disaster and struggle of the area.
An important activity during this period was search and rescue, as well as quick assessments to get accurate information about damages, lives lost and properties lost. As is well known to us, one area that any disaster impacts greatly is health issues or problems. And in the floods this year, the Ministry of Health too came out in full to support all the activities.
Pakai di sana tablet for you putin sa lo. Waterway refilling for him healing na pain inside, then by inside drinking.
It's time for those affected to go back to their properties and take stock. Affected communities of the Guadalcanal Plains and other areas around Honiara, whose houses hadn't been washed away, were the first to leave. After the devastating flash floods, the Honiara City Council moved to pass a law which prohibits anyone from rebuilding in the same area.
Bottom 100 to 200 meters from the river bank, from the river. People not allowed for build for the areas. So that's why the area is risk zone.
An important thing to remember in the future is to properly assess where you want to build your property. What hazards or dangers are in the area.
How is the place here? You ask him yourself, would this be a good place for me to put in house for family belonging stuff? Consider not only yourself, consider not picking in the blade. If we put in house for here, what not is on him meaning? Time every year in the wet season the nature belong or the events have changed. Before come place of flood big. This time with the climate change, any impact for him and we start for looking at change. You by looking more intense heavy rain, by you looking more strong winds, intensity of the event becomes stronger and bigger. Have no rocket science here. So you must get in someone for come measure and this and that because of our pleasure and you need leave Lord pleasure and every time the history of flood Lord pleasure. Not the only place you put in house for you, consider him place you put in garden for you. Because a lot of the time you may rain, and impact of garden. And therefore try to look at the places where you put in garden. So these are some of the key messages where we like to make sure people must have there before build about the high-risk areas. Take heed of the warnings we have to go out. Time also we have that generally because of this law experience in the past. So it's all this on there flooding and sense no mind. No more. Time of the warning and come. If you move out, you must move out.
Being prepared in terms of flood means sorting out what to move before a flood occurs. Help those who are vulnerable. Keep a flood kit where your family's medicines are safe. spare batteries, torches, important documents, mobile phones, and so on. Think about where you can go if you need to evacuate. Listen to the radio. Listen out for directions by disaster officials. During floods, avoid walking or driving through floodwater. Keep to high ground. Don't touch electrical sources. Stay in a safe place with an exit. Call 955 or 999 in an emergency.